come forth from Sunken Mountain, calls the sundered summer moon. The Eyrie's fallen dragon king has groaned his grievous tune. The halls that rose in cloudy steeps now lie beneath the waves, and Jurgen's fallen kingdom sleeps in bouldered ocean graves. Greetings, Featherheads, Theorist here, and today I'm going to be digging into the legend of the Sunken Mountains and examine exactly what we know about the ancient dragon kingdom itself. If you'd like to know more about the sea dragons of the Wingfeather Saga, I'm going to be releasing a video soon talking about them in my Creatures of Aeryar series, so go check that out. But let's begin. So the story starts in the early days of Aeryar, the first epoch. This was before the dragons were confined to the dark sea of darkness, and instead dwelt in a great kingdom in the southwest regions of the sea. Jurgen, the dragon king, dwelt in a stronghold atop the great southern mountains. There isn't a lot of detail given about this kingdom other than mountain halls towered in cloudy steeps, but since it was crafted by the dragons themselves, we can assume that it was one of the greatest Aeryars ever known. But sadly, it was not to last. The old stories say that Jurgen's heir believed that Omer, son of Dwayne, the first fellow, meant harm upon the dragons, and he battled him on the shores of the southern mountains. Though Omer meant no harm on the young dragon, he struck him with a mortal blow, and hoping to save his foe, Omer raced up the mountain to Jurgen's halls and confronted the dragon king. He explained that his heir had been mortally wounded, but he did not say that it was he who had dealt the terrible blow for fear of his life. Instead, he told Jurgen the secret of the healing stones that the Maker buried within the earth, that every day made the trees blossom and the eyes open. A finder of the whole array, Omer said, could heal the dying dragon. And so Jurgen, in a desperate attempt to save the life of his son, summoned all dragons to him, to burrow through the earth and find the healing stones. What happened next was likely the greatest catastrophe Aeryar has ever and will ever know. Jurgen and his dragons burrowed. They clawed through layers of granite and marble, rimstone and brink, through rivers colder than ice, through stone so hot it bubbled, until at last, because their roots were hollowed and weak, the mountains fell. Then rock shook and land broke from land. Many waters filled the deep places, and cities moved like ships unmoored. Great waves swept across the continents and buried peoples in all their histories. Songs were silenced forever. He sped upward to save his wounded heir, but behold, Jurgen found him dead, and his mountain kingdom crumbled. Jurgen folded his wings in sorrow at his folly, and the dragons diminished. There was a great wailing in Aeryar, for many bodies lay cold on the ocean floor. Even the behemoths, dwellers of the deep, filled the dark sea with sorrowful music, for they hovered wide over the ocean floor and knew evil in the death of so many. Way to end the first epoch, guys! But this is just the legend as it's known to the world. The real story, what actually happened, was documented in the first books, which have been lost to Aeryar. Most of them, that is. Thankfully, we readers get to hear the truth behind the legend. However, if you'd like to read it for yourself in the Wingfeather Saga, then I suggest you stop the video here to avoid spoilers, and perhaps go check out this video linked above. Alright, here we go. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. So at the end of the first Wingfeather book, Janna receives one of the first books as a gift from his father. The book is written in Old Hallish, but thanks to the efforts of Nia Wingfeather, Oscar Nosserteep, and Bonifer Squoon, the first book is eventually translated, and we hear the truth behind the legend of the Sunken Mountains. While the majority of the legend remains the same, one key factor changes. It was not Omer, son of Dwayne, that wounded Jurgen's heir and convinced the Dragon King to find the healing stones. It was his brother, Ouster Will. Will put on his brother's armor and sank his sword into the young dragon, then rushed to Jurgen's halls, and, well, you know what happens next. When the mountains sunk and the Dragon Kingdom fell beneath the waves, Ouster Will was enraged because his plan was to follow Jurgen into the heart of the world and learn many secrets that his father, Dwayne, would never give him access to. But now the way was sealed forever, and the only way into the core of the world was beneath the kingdom of Aeryar, which Will later turned his attentions to, using the whole array and Holel that Jurgen dislodged from the earth. With them he began experimenting with melding animals and people. It is unknown when exactly he began doing this, but I do have a theory. But that's a topic for another video. While the Dragon Kingdom of Aeryar was probably the greatest and most powerful kingdom the world has ever known, I feel as though the fall of Jurgen's Hall is often overshadowed by the misery of Aeryar's destruction. While Aeryar lost a great many lives due to the sinking of the mountains, the destruction of the Dragon Kingdom and the diminishing of the dragons into the sea is a great tragedy all on its own, and the dragons remember this tragedy by singing their sorrowful songs at the cliffs of Scree for thousands of years afterward. And though history has fallen into legend, and legend into myth, Jurgen and his dragons never forgave, and they never forgot. But that pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you all enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, make sure you leave a like or a comment down below and share this video with your friends. For more lore, theories, and other Wingfeather related videos, consider subscribing, and hopefully, I'll see you all in another video. Ciao!